The local council slapped me with a massive fine over a fence. A fence. They laughed when I tried to appeal. So I did something they never expected. I bought the land they needed most, and locked every gate. You want to play petty? Let's play. I'm Eric Walters, 52. Ex-construction manager. Retired early after a back injury and bought a little land outside Lincoln County, Oregon. Built my cabin. Grew my vegetables. Kept to myself. Then I installed a tall wooden fence along the west side of my property. Just privacy, nothing more. A month later, I got a letter from the county council, unauthorized structure violating scenic view ordinance, $11,500 fine. I thought it was a mistake. Went down to the council office myself. Big room, long table, 4 smug faces across from me. Council members. Ted Willoughby, the head, barely looked up. I'm sorry, Mr. Walters, but the law's the law. I explained my side. They said technically my fence blocked a historic trail view, enjoyed by local hikers. I checked the map. That trail didn't even cross my property. I filed an appeal. It got tossed out within 2 weeks. Then I found out Ted Willoughby's cousin was a contractor. Guess who was bidding for work to replace all the fencing around the town hall? Something stunk. They made an example out of me. Tried to humiliate the grumpy outsider. But they forgot one thing: my father left me a trust fund. I never liked touching it. But this was war. I started digging. I found out the council didn't own much of the land they regulated. Most of the trails, picnic zones, and parking lots were leased from a private estate called Blackwood Reserve. Blackwood Reserve had fallen into debt. The family that owned it had moved abroad years ago. Turns out, the land was quietly up for sale. I hired a sharp real estate lawyer, used a holding company, and within 6 months, I owned 138 acres. Guess which areas that included? The entire trailhead the town used for Sunday hikes. The annual Run for the Pines event route. And the scenic overlook that tourists loved posting on Instagram. I sent a polite letter to the council. Effective immediately, public access is revoked. They thought I was bluffing until I had new signs installed, heavy-duty gates locked, and security cameras watching every entry. The first weekend after I closed the land, chaos erupted. Hikers turned around. Tourists complained. Local news picked up the story. Council called an emergency meeting. Ted Willoughby tried to contact me, man-to-man. I ignored the calls. They offered to revisit the fine if I reopened the trails. I told them the fine was the cheap part. Now we're talking rent, $10,000 per weekend event, $100 per vehicle, $250 per permit. Non-negotiable. Their jaws dropped. They tried legal action. My paperwork was bulletproof. Their lease agreement expired. Eventually, the council had no choice. They either paid or rerouted everything. Guess what they picked? They rerouted the town's annual festival through a concrete parking lot. The whole thing flopped. Vendors left. Attendance crashed. By fall, the local elections came. 3 of the 4 council members, including Ted, were voted out. The new council reached out. We negotiated. Not for access, but for a purchase. They bought back 60 acres for triple what I paid. I kept the rest. Put in a trout pond, a workshop, and yes, rebuilt my fence. Higher this time. And you know what? No one complained.